match. We are jumping in at game number 2 here. Uwrf took it 2-0 on Lijiang Tower. We are starting late because the Smash roster was going a little late with their crew battle here versus Stout. But jumping in to map 2, we are going to be going on to Uwrf for our hybrid. Jumping in, there's a lot of different comps that you're able to run on Eichenwald. You can go with like a good Pharah or Echo, just due to like the good air cover on first map, as well as second point being very high ground dominated. But on first, you can definitely get away with running more of a brawly pokey comp, just because you do have long sight lines, a nice choke, and some good high ground to play on the back of point here. But it looks like both teams are going to be opting in to a Reinhardt comp and brawl at that. See the Mei, Reinhardt, Junos coming out from both sides. However, Illari being opted in instead over Brig on the second, which is a little different. You typically would run more of a brawl support, but they do have the Reaper to add that extra brawl damage. But Junkrat into these comps is very strong. You are playing against a Death Volley comp, and when they're all running straight at you, Junkrat can be very effective, especially with the concussion mines, can kind of displace the team, and he can also break Maywall incredibly fast. Anyway, already in, both teams kind of just poking each other from the choke. Wall goes down, but doesn't really catch anyone, doesn't split anyone. And we're just going to have both teams kind of rotate to point. Speed gate coming out from both teams here, poking and prodding. But red team here is starting to take some ground away. They're moving over into this left-hand corridor here. Uwrf going to fall back 2 point against Nca&T here. 9 charging in, gets counterpinned by the enemy Rein. Both teams trading cooldowns here. Rein Shatter available, gets blocked. 9 coming in with a charge, pins the other Rein. Rein pins, misses. Getting a little bit brawly here. Illari getting in really close. Going low. Enemy Reinhardt going very low. Dies, but gets Shatter off beforehand. 2 members fall in. Uwrf missing the DPS, flanking in the backline. Picking off Reaper as well as the backline. That might be just enough for Nca&T. Brig alive here, dueling the Illari, but is she going to be able to actually take the thing? No, Illari pylon is going to keep her up there. And it looks like Nca&T going to take this one relatively convincingly. Uwrf not ready for the flank coming out from Nca&T here, from the Reaper Mei, who got into the backline and just decimated it. Tyler has the Riptire available, but Mei ult, Blizzard, and Orbital Laser available from the other side. Tyler just not seeing anyone and is going to have this Tyler get destroyed here. Unfortunate waste of an ult, but Uwrf set up on the high ground currently. Neither team very good at actually abusing the high ground at the moment. Junkrat can definitely spam down, but he's not the most accurate from this distance. Tyler dropping down. Going to be late on the thing. It's going to force 9 to drop down to save him. Uwrf going to give up the high ground here. Blizzard coming out. 9 going to get frozen in the middle. Orbital Laser coming out for both teams, but the Blizzard is going to do too much work here. Shatter coming down from 9, but only manages to hit 1. But is that going to be enough? Juno goes down. Is the rally going to be able to keep them sustained here? Reinhardt going really low, and that's going to be the fight here. Grandma coming up with 2 kills here. Mei trying to get out. Reaper forced to fade, and it looks like Grandma is going to catch the fleeing Mei, and Rein snipes out Reaper there. Uwrf going to go and try to reset on height here. Going to wait for Nca&T to come back to point here. Ult economy, relatively equal. Reaper ult going to be coming up on the side of Nca&T, whereas Mei ult almost there, gathered from side of Uwrf here. However, Uwrf not really contesting the point currently. Reinhardt going to have to drop here soon. Juno from Uwrf playing the long distance here. Reinhardt going low. Mei drops on the back line and catches the Illari here. And Uwrf just managing to find some extra picks here first. Reaper going to get caught here. going down, and May, can she get out? Wall missed from Uwrf, but Fire Strike catches her in the corridor. Uwrf opting to go, probably reset back again, height. See what they can do. They're going to have to worry about this Shatter and potentially Blizzard next fight, but Uwrf also has the Blizzard available to them, and they are coming up on Orbital Laser here. Nine also approaching Shatter here for his, I believe, third Shatter already. So far, not had a ton of luck with them, as two of them have gone wide, and the other one got one. But Blizzard catches the Reinhardt, gets two here. Blake going to manage to make it out, and it looks like it's just going to be a clean ace here for Uwrf. They lose nobody and invest just one ult there, but thankfully for the side of Nca&T, they don't invest any ults into that. They just get some time burnt here, but it allows Uwrf to get their Shatter on height, and they are approaching their other two ults here as well. Mercy swap here for Juno. Curious to see, yes, the Reaper has been swapped over to the Pharah. Uwrf doesn't really have the characters to actually deal with this Pharah Mercy here, which is the downside of going Venture May. You don't really have anything to deal with the height, but Uwrf just going to explode onto the Reinhardt here, but Blizzard coming out will Blizzard and Rally Orbital Laser keeping 9 up, which is going to let them clean up the other team. They're just not able to burst 9 through all of that healing. And Uwrf invests 2 support ults to win that, but Blizzard coming out from the side of Nca&T, which is a big one. 1 minute here left on the clock. They're not going to be able to build another Blizzard. They swap over to Sombra, who has recently changed. She just got hotfix buffed recently, 1 second off her translocator time, but she's a relatively clunky character. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that swap, but the Pharah Mercy going to be proved to be very difficult for Uwrf to deal with. They're getting splashed out on this high ground. Meanwhile, Point is getting pushed over. Uwrf going to have to make a move, but Alari caught slow on the rotation. Uwrf just drops onto him, gets the pick immediately. Tyler going to get pinned here, but Shatter available. Reinhardt going down. Pharah Mercy, though, are they able to 2v3? Tyler trying to get this pick, but Uwrf not able to pick this Pharah. Finally, she's forced to touch Point as it goes close to overtime, and she's going to fall. Mercy trying to get away is killed by Enderfire, and Lucio swapped out here to pick up the Sombra kill. Uwrf going to have to be coming with a strong hold on Bridge on second. I really did like the Pharah pick, but I wish it would have come out a little bit sooner from Nca&T there. They didn't have enough time to work with it, and they did unfortunately lack the speed to really have those rotations there. Alari getting kind of picked quite often on those rotations, which costs Nca&T quite a bit of time there. Would have liked to maybe see them rotate up around the other direction just to avoid the high ground. Switching sides here, Uwrf going to be coming onto the attack this time around. See if they decide to opt into anything different for their attack side, as well as Nca&T opting anything for different for the defense here. Looks like they're thinking a Orisa comp here. Swapping out the Mercy. It looks like Orisa, Bastion, May. This could definitely be very tricky to deal with, as well as fully swapping their support line. The only thing that remains similar is the May pick here, but there is a lot of damage coming out from the side of Nca&T, which is going to be tricky for 9 to play into, but it looks like 9 has also opted into the Orisa, which is actually going to be very, very strong into this comp. Spin allowing you to kind of function like a D matrix, where you just can eat infinite amount of damage. They also have the May Juno coming here, which is a pretty aggressive support line. There's not a lot of peel, but thankfully for them, there's not a lot of backline pressure coming up from Nca&T here. Uwrf rotating it into the right side room here. Nca&T looking like they weren't exactly expecting this. Gold comes out early from Nca&T here. We'll see if Uwrf is able to punish them. Both walls coming out here. Both Bastions shift out as well. But Tyler going to be the first to fall here to a Mace Icicle. Uwrf going to back off here and reset. A lot more damage available from the side of Nca&T supports here. However, Uwrf does have the ante available. Zen going low, but nobody able to follow up on the nade. Uwrf working in here, trying to look for a poke. Not really able to super aggress through the thing. May going low. Immortality field used here. Orisa gets purpled. Is Uwrf going to be able to finish her off? Zen falls here, and Orisa no more shift or E. She's going to fall. And Uwrf playing slow here and just going to take it nice and slow, make sure no one gets picked here while they're taking this point. And this should be first point for them. Supports and May getting staggered out here. They're going to have a Zen Orisa that are able to touch, but looks like they're not going to opt to do that. Nca&T not quite set up on height, and 9 catches out the Zenyatta on low ground. Gets a pick early. Purple comes out. Orisa forced to shift. 9 also matching back with his shift, but Uwrf just not able to quite follow up. He gets the Bastion. May going to be behind here. Immortality field not available, and no cooldowns here for the side of Nca&T, and Uwrf going to invest the orbital laser here to make sure they win that fight. Don't know if it was necessary, but Uwrf just absolutely rolling here on second, not even giving Nca&T the opportunity to use this high ground to their advantage here. Sig swapped out here. I don't know if that's good enough for Nca&T here to really make a difference. 9 getting chased up here by a couple members, but they're realizing they need to go stop this cart. 9 not rotated over, just got over. Reaper forced to shift out. Baptiste window coming out here. Uwrf trying to kite out, but they almost get picked. Bastion ult here coming up big, getting both Immort and that Moira low, allowing 9 to finish up. Nano coming out on 9, going to spear the Baptiste into the wall, coming up to 2. Can he get 3 here? Bastion low, slept onto the Reaper, gets speared. He's going to shift to stall out point as long as he can, but he is not going to be long for this world. TP's right to Uwrf, and Moira going low, gets antied, has no fade. Caught in the middle with no cover. Uwrf looking to primed to take this. Bastion ult coming out, picks off Ana here, but are they going to be able to touch? It looks like the answer is yes, but Kiri gets naded by the Bastion. Sig alone on point, trying to do what he can, but there are no supports up. Reaper forced to use his ult, and no one able to touch. Uwrf absolutely dominant on this second map, Eichenwald. Nca&T is going to have to figure out something if they want to be able to adapt here. They've just been getting consistently out-brawled here by Uwrf. Here's that play where Ryan gets frozen, but both support alts managed to keep him up through the blizzard, resulting in a team win for Uwrf. We're going to be going into our third map here, which is going to be either New Junk City and or Suravasa. It's going to be a flashpoint, which is quite the brawl map, I would say, which so far in this series, Uwrf has been making it look like they are quite the dominant onto the brawl v brawl matchup. See if Nca&T has a ace up their sleeve, if they're able to play any sort of dive or poke well enough to kite out the brawl from Uwrf, but thus far it seems like they've wanted to match. In Junk City, New Junk City coming out here. A more unorthodox pick. I think most of the time teams and in general players kind of prefer Suravasa over New Junk City. Not sure quite why that is. I think maybe the points on New Junk City are just a little bit stranger. There's a lot more high ground involved in this map than Suravasa. Suravasa is a lot simpler. It's a lot easier to follow along. There's not as many like power positions to hold, but maybe Nca&T is hoping to catch Uwrf off on a map that they don't play as much. However, this first point here is a pretty brawl-heavy map. So, again, not going to be super favorable. You can run some weird stuff like Far Mercy. And honestly, I'd like to see Nca&T pull out maybe some weirder stuff here. And it looks like the Doomfist is going to be opted in for here. Just trying to maybe mess around and see what works. Obviously, the Ryan v. Ryan matchup has been falling in favor of Uwrf these past 2 maps here. But we'll see. Uwrf opting for the Venture Reaper, which is definitely a very brawl-heavy comp, but what we've kind of expected from Uwrf here. Whereas swapping, pretty much running a brawl comp on the side of Nca&T, but just with a Doomfist instead of a brawl. It's the typical brawl tank. Not able to get an empowered punch off his block there, but he's going to go in and try to make some pressure on the side. 9 pins in, lands on the Doomfist, but he doesn't take it to the wall. I don't think he was expecting to actually get the pin, and preemptively canceled it here. Enderfire getting caught out kind of in the open, but no one from Nca&T punishes him for that, and actually Star-Lord gets picked out on the May. Uwrf pushing into point. Doomfist trying to do what he can, but he doesn't offer much in the protection of his teammates, and Uwrf with no mobility on the DPS just roll onto point and pick off them first. Doomfist gonna fall here, and Nca&T gonna have to come up with something that makes a little bit more sense, I think. You need to run some more characters with mobility so that you don't get just caught with your pants down the second Doom dives into the backline. Uwrf holding close here. This is a pretty difficult spot for you to push through if you don't have good brawl. Maybe they just need to opt for a bit of flanks here, put some people through the back. But we do see the May swapped over to the Tracer, and we do see Nca&T trying to go through multiple avenues of approach here, but they need to coordinate, make sure they're going at that same point. Doomfist going to be on point kind of by himself, and Tracer going to fall to the Brig on point as well. Doomfist, no help here. Doesn't have any supports helping him. He's falling lower and lower. Is he going to be able to get out? And it looks like the answer is going to be no. Tyler finishing him off. Meanwhile, Juno Reinhardt is just absolutely steamrolling the backline of Nca&T, and Nca&T going to lose this fight as well in the point. Uwrf continuing to look extremely dominant on this brawl comp, and Nca&T need to find a way. They looks like they're going to swap the Doom over to the Sig. But now the Tracer can still work very well here. You can attack the backline and make it a little awkward. But Juno caught out here. Try to get run down. She's going to be able to fly out, but Uwrf going to provide chase here. Reinhardt has Shatter available to him, and Sigma not the greatest at blocking it. Tyler on the flank with a Venture ult to clean up that Shatter, and Uwrf takes another fight here. Sig swapped for Junker Queen now. I don't know if I am the largest fan of that. I think currently, as it stands, Reinhardt is very, very, very good into Junker Queen. Junker Queen wants to be up close and personal, and when your swings do 100 damage, it's pretty hard to be close to Reinhardt. She's going to have to leverage that speed advantage she has to get on the background. Tracer lands Pulse Bomb onto Brig. Orbital Laser invested, but our Reinhardt coming up big with the Juno here. It's going to be an even fight currently. Reinhardt pinning in is going to just kill the Queen straight up. Deadeye catches Juno, and Star-Lord able to finish off Reaper. However, Uwrf in control of the point. It's with no tank. This is going to be a very difficult position for them to play. Star-Lord very low, gets picked out by Tyler. Tyler falls to the Ana. Brig is not moving for some reason. I'm unsure what he was doing. But Ana, nothing there. Nca&T goes though. Brig going to have to watch the flank here, and looks like McCree is able to find it. Brian pinning off the Junker Queen, but knifed in the process, gets pulled down with her. Uwrf still scrapping this point to 199%, but it looks like their Nca&T is finally going to take it. They do have Orbital Laser and might be able to build the Nano here before next fight. They're going to have to be watching out for this Reaper ult as well as Shatter, and with nothing to block it, 9 is set up for a pretty easy fight win here if he's able to land like a Fire Strike or two to build it, and 9 now has Shatter available to him. See if they're going to have to be very careful here when 9 speed stop. Here comes the Orbital Ring. Shatter coming down, catches 2. Queen's up pick here as well. It gets the triple. Reaper ult used as well. And Queen left with no team. in a matter of seconds there. Again, Nca&T needed to be ready for that speed shatter, and they just were not prepared. Going to cost them a fight there, and Uwrf invests 2 ults to win that fight cleanly. Pulse Bomb, Nano, and Orbital Laser, as well as Deadeye coming up on the side of Nca&T. Uwrf doesn't really have anything besides Venture Ult that they're going to be seeing anytime soon. However, you have to be careful when you're playing into a brawl. Rein does build those shatters quickly. Already at 35% after that last fight. He might be able to build it this fight if he is able to hit enough fire strikes and get in there. Nca&T building up their ults here. They're approaching 5. I'd like to see them just pop an ult and make an advance on a point here. They already gave this point control over to Uwrf. Juno falling low. Tyler able to flank around and pick her off. Uwrf up 1 already and no ults invested besides Pulse Bomb from the side of Nca&T, and they didn't manage to find anything with it. Tracer going down to the Reaper, and Uwrf, despite being down extreme in the ult economy, is able to just win this fight because only Pulse Bomb coming out from the side of Nca&T. Uwrf staggering out this Queen. She did not die soon enough, and they're only going to have 1 more fight left here. If Uwrf takes this is going to be the map and the series. And, well, this fight they're actually going to have ults to work with here. And if Nca&T's not able to get those ults off, then this is going to be looking like a very tough game for way to win. Nca&T going to need to be looking to touch point here pretty quickly. They've only got 10% left. Sushi on the flank here. Tyler as well looking for maybe a potential flank. Ana caught out by the Reaper thing. 9 has Shatter available to him. Deadeye picks up 2. Is 9 going to look to invest it, or are they just going to lose this fight? It looks like they're just going to lose this fight. Nca&T investing 3 ultimates, the Queen, the Orbital Laser, as well as the Deadeye to pick up the fight there. Only going to have access to the Nano next fight, whereas Uwrf is going to have the Shatter, and we saw what happened last time they had that available to them. Tyler going in, poking the Queen out. Going to remain fine. Uwrf 9 speeding on the back line. This Ana going low. Juno trying to peel for her. Juno going low as well. Reaper gets hit, but 9 whiffs the Shatter. But does it even matter? Uwrf onto the back line. Rally built up here, and Queen going to fall shortly after. May trying her best to stay alive, but she's not even contesting point, and Uwrf going to take this fight nice and easy. And that is the series. Uwrf 3-0 versus Nca&T SU. Uwrf just looking extremely dominant in terms of the brawl comp. Hardly ever losing the fight unless there was ult advantages available on the side of Nca&T. And once again, here's that Shatter we saw earlier. Just Nca&T not sure what exactly to do. Did not drop height fast enough, and, well, Uwrf takes the game and the series very quickly. All right, we're going to be heading off. Have a nice night, everybody.